we're going to look at Zoho campaigns and Zoho CRM. So for those of you who are new to campaigns, this is a bit more advanced in the feature set, but I'm going to hopefully walk you through some of the more basic steps of campaign creation as well to get you guys started. So here's a quick look at what we'll be covering in today's session. We're going to start with a background on the relationship between email marketing and customer relationship management. So for those of you who are already using a CRM system but not using email marketing software, you may have experienced some discordance there when trying to reach out to your leads or really engage your customers for a better relationship. So we're going to see why it's really useful to use those two systems together. And because we know the benefits behind that, we do offer Zoho campaigns to integrate with Zoho CRM. And so we're going to go through the technical steps of getting started with that. And in the live demo, I'm going to walk you through how to connect those two accounts. So if you already have Zoho CRM, we're going to go into Zoho campaigns and see how to access that account. And once we do that, we're going to create a sync. We call it a sync, and it's just a periodic update of data. So whichever data you bring in from Zoho CRM into Zoho campaigns, you want to make sure that's always up to date. So if you change anything in CRM, it needs to be automatically reflected in your campaigns account so that you're sending the most relevant and targeted email campaigns to your leads or contacts. It can get a little confusing, so at the end we're going to have a question and answer session, and a couple members from the support team are going to come up and answer your more technical questions for you guys. So let's get started. What's the link between customer relationship management and email marketing? Now, we know that your sales reps play an important role in guiding the leads through the buying process. But that stage takes a lot of communication, and your marketing team can really help you out with that. For most of you here, you may not have separate teams. It may just be you or one or two other people that are managing both of those strategies. But the more you can combine those and really stay in sync with the information at hand, the better off you'll be. So we all use our CRM system to store, manage, and track our leads and contacts. Some of you may be aware of this reality, and you've probably experienced it on a day-to-day basis, but on average, really only half of those leads that you bring in are ready to buy. The other 50% needs to be educated more on your products or services. They need some kind of hand-holding to be converted into customers. And that's where engagement comes to play, and from our experience, email marketing can be a really effective tool for helping you do that. To put it into a bigger perspective, of course, the end goal of any business is to profit. We're all here to make money. We want to make worthwhile products, but at the end of the day, the more money we can make, the better off we'll be. To do that, you need to get more customers. And as I said, finding creative ways to engage with those leads that you have in your CRM system. So with all of that in mind, let's look at combining Zoho campaigns with Zoho CRM. When you step back and think about it, there are two main issues that we have seen if these two systems are not in sync. If you have one CRM system on one end of your company and a separate email marketing software, and there's no way for the data to go back and forth, there's really no way for you to send the most relevant targeted campaigns. So it's really important to keep that in mind. And as we'll see, after you send out your email campaigns, you can view the results inside your CRM account, and that's a really powerful tool for your sales reps as well. So it keeps your sales strategies and marketing strategies fully in sync. Okay, as I mentioned, because all of your data is in one single account, and it's always up to date as we create that sync, you can choose how often you want to keep that up to date. So any lead information, as a lead goes through the buying process and is converted into a contact, they'll automatically be moved to different mailing lists and receive the most targeted campaigns for them. So I kind of touched on all those points already. So now let's go into the steps of creating this integration. You first want to consider your audience, and this is when you create your mailing list of subscribers. You can either import them manually, import an existing list from your computer, but another way is to create a sync with Zoho CRM, and that's what we're going to look at today. The next two steps, creating the content and then sending the campaign, I'm going to kind of just breeze through that because that was part of our first session on day one. But step 4, the analysis. I'm going to show you where inside CRM you can view your email campaign results. So this is what that end goal looks like. For those of you using Zoho CRM, you're aware of the module called Campaigns, which I have highlighted there. And that Campaigns module keeps track of all of your various marketing activities, including email campaigns that you send through Zoho Campaigns if you have that integrated. This is just a screenshot of one campaign that I sent out. It was an introduction to one of our new UIs. And my sales rep can go in, he can see how many recipients received that campaign, he can view the campaign content, and just get a nice overall summary view of how that campaign performed and who received it. Another place inside CRM you can see your campaign results is under the individual lead or contact information, under their profile. There's a field called description information, just by default. You can see the various campaigns that they've opened, which ones they've clicked on and have engaged with the most. And with the different customization options, you can change the name of that field if you like. So here are the steps of setting up the integration. I'm going to log in to my Zoho Campaigns account, and we're going to connect with Zoho CRM. That's a fairly simple process, and then once you do that, you're going to create a sync. It's important to have your email campaign in mind first so that you know what lead and contact information you want to bring in from CRM. So think of your audience, who do you want to send your campaign to, and that'll just make creating the sync a lot more easy. Then we can initiate the sync, and there's a couple different settings and preferences that we're going to look into. And then essentially we'll have a mailing list inside our Zoho Campaigns account with that new lead information that we can send an email campaign to, and then track our results inside Zoho CRM. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So this is what the first page looks like when you log into Zoho Campaigns. And to create the sync, I'm going to go to the Contacts tab. Okay, because essentially this is just one way of bringing in contacts into your Campaigns account. So Sync Contacts. And you're seeing this Zoho CRM here because this particular account has already been connected with CRM. But when you're doing this for the first time, there's an option here on the right to sync from Zoho Services. Of course, you're going to select Zoho CRM. And you'll need the email address of the administrator of your CRM account. And then you'll want to retrieve the Zoho Service Communication Key. And all you do is you would click on this link, and that's going to take you inside your CRM. It will take you directly to that key. You simply copy and paste it into this field. Oh, okay, so click Save, and that will go through. And this is what your screen will then look like. So you can see that I'm connected with Zoho CRM. At that point, I'm going to create a new sync. So the email campaign that I have in mind is sending an invitation to a meetup for my leads in the state of Texas. The sync description, you can call it whatever you like, just as long as you know what contacts the sync is associated with. Okay, and then you choose the CRM module that you'd like to sync from. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So I'm going to choose my leads module, and there's a couple different options here for you. You can sync all open leads, or you can narrow it down to a custom view. So any view that you've already created in your CRM account should show up on this drop-down menu. You can further narrow it based on different criteria. So if I want to just bring in leads from a particular company, I can do that as well. So there's different options here. Okay, so the data that we're bringing from CRM is going to be associated with a mailing list in our Campaigns account. You can tie it to a mailing list that you already have created, or you can create a new mailing list. Now, the sign-up form option. I did go through this on day one. This is just to allow any website visitors who come to your homepage, your blog, your social media page, anywhere you've created a sign-up form for them to join your mailing list, you'll want to select this option. However, if you know it's going to be a closed list, in this case it's a closed list, I'm not going to have that option. So just click Save, and then we're going to map our fields. So whichever data in CRM that I want to be mapped to Zoho Campaigns, I can choose that here, and I can map more if I wish. And now we get into the sync preferences. We definitely recommend a regular sync. Again, you want your data in between the two accounts to always be up to date. So anything you change in CRM, which you might be doing frequently depending on which leads the sync is referring to, you'll probably want a regular sync here, and you can set the timing. And then if you have a particular date that you want this sync to happen, you can choose to sync it after a custom date here. Now, these 4 options at the bottom can be a little tricky. This is how you keep your data up to date. I'm going to quickly walk you through these. When you're creating this sync, anyone who has unsubscribed from your mailing list inside Zoho campaigns will be marked as opt-out in Zoho CRM. So for those of you familiar with CRM, you're aware of the opt-out field, and this is to correspond with anyone who's unsubscribed from your mailing lists. Update deleted contacts. So if you delete, let's say one of these leads in my list gets deleted from my CRM, I probably am not going to want to send them an email campaign. So you can either unsubscribe them from this particular list or completely remove them from your campaigns account. Exclude email opt-out contacts. This is similar to the first one, but it's the reversal. So anyone who has opted out in your CRM system will be unsubscribed in your campaigns account. Or again, you can just completely remove them if you know that you're never going to send them a campaign. Now this last option, because I'm syncing from the leads module, hopefully those leads don't stay leads for very long and they get converted into customers. So this particular campaign, I'll want to unsubscribe them from. We recommend checking all of these options, but it does depend on your campaign. So just take a couple minutes to read through those and choose the ones that work for you. Okay, so at that stage, my sync has been successfully added. And one more thing to point out here, if you go to the Campaigns to CRM settings, you'll see that by default, we enable this campaign creation in Zoho CRM. And this option, if we go back to the slides here, this is what allows you to see your sent email campaigns under the Campaigns module. So just want to double check that when you're creating your sync. Okay, so now if I go back to my list management settings, you can see here, this is the new mailing list that we just created. And this does have leads. It says 0. I think it takes just a couple minutes to sync. But now we can send out our email campaign to our new list. So I'm going to go to the Email Campaigns tab. And again, I'm just going to kind of breeze through these steps. But you'll just create your campaign. And this name is just for your reference to have in your account. And the subject line, this is what your recipients will see in their inbox. Okay, and the sender's name, you'll want to do one that they recognize, as well as the sender and reply to email addresses. Okay, now I can create my content. We suggest that you choose one of the pre-designed templates inside Zoho Campaigns. All of these are responsively designed, so the formatting will automatically adjust depending on the device that your recipients use to view your campaign. So I'm just going to select one of our pre-designed. And in the editor mode, of course, you can customize this to fit your needs. You can change the background, the text, the layout. You can include a merge tag here if you want to address each of your recipients by their first names. Okay, so once I create my content here, I can then choose my recipients. All right, and this is where I can select the mailing list that I just created a sync with my CRM. Okay, now before you can officially send out your campaign, we do require that you send it in for review to our support team. This takes just a couple minutes, and it's to ensure that all of your content, your subject line, the images comply by the anti-spam laws. And one thing that we look for is that you include the unsubscribe link somewhere in your campaign. Most people include it in the footer, but this review process, we help you just to ensure that your email is actually delivered to your recipients. So that's a pretty important step. Another thing to always remember to do, there's an option here on the right to send yourself a test email. So send it to yourself, some colleagues, check it in different clients and web browsers just to make sure that the content is good to go. Let me see if I can find one. So this one's already been reviewed. It's been through the review process, and you can see the sending options. I can send the campaign right away, or I can schedule it for a later date and time, for example, if some of my recipients are in a different time zone. All right, so after we send out our email campaign, as we say, it's really important to check the reports and to see how your campaign performed. So here inside Zoho Campaigns, we do offer several different reports for you. I'll choose one of our demo campaigns that we sent out earlier. So I can see the delivery and open rate, if there are any bounces or unsubscribes. The email opens over time and by location. And here on the right, there's different individual reports. So the recipient activity, which subscribers engage the most with my campaign. Those who have opened the campaign, and there's an option here to create a chain campaign if I want to immediately follow up with just those opens. And this will walk you through the same process of creating a campaign, and you can customize this content. Okay, the link click activity is another report to check out to see how your recipients engage with the different links in your content. Okay, and so as I said, in addition to these reports inside Zoho Campaigns, when you go into your CRM account, and you go under the Campaigns module, I can select one of these emails that I sent with Zoho Campaigns. And this is the screenshot that I showed you earlier in the demo. Okay, so we went through the steps of connecting our Zoho Campaigns and Zoho CRM accounts. I showed you how to create a sync to bring in any lead or contact information that you want to send a campaign to. And if you're interested, you can email us at sales@zohocampaigns.com. Thank you very much.